This video is intended to be an open and constructive conversation about the generic design of recent Proton models. It is not meant to be disrespectful or spread negativity. We appreciate Proton's contributions to the Malaysian automotive industry and its role as a national icon, and highly encourage them to continue innovating to design better looking cars for the future. In 1983, we saw the birth of Proton as a government initiative aimed to develop Malaysia's automotive industry by collaborating with Mitsubishi Motors. The first Proton car, the Saga, in 1985, was based on the design of a second-generation Mitsubishi Lancer Fiore because of the common Malaysians' appreciation for Japanese culture and their positive experience with Japanese technology. This helped Proton to capture a significant share of the Malaysian market and showcase the appeal of Japanese cars for their reliability, durability, and fuel efficiency, making them an attractive choice for Malaysian car buyers. Proton has since moved towards more indigenous development, with their 2000 Wajah model being their first car with significant in-house design. Until
So I think it was about like 5 years ago. There's a company in China called Geely.
Geely Motors.
And remember I told you Proton was, yeah, exactly. And then remember I told you Proton was in partnership with Lotus
Yes, yeah.
about, I'd say about a decade ago now. Good Lord, it's been a decade.
Yeah, exactly. Like 2013.
Proton actually bought Lotus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Proton actually bought Lotus. And then in the partnership, they made some good cars. You know, the Proton Satria
Yeah.
actually has an edition
Right.
which tuned by Lotus, and that is my favorite Malaysian car in the world right now. So yeah, they did a few rallying. Die-hard Top Gear fans would know that. And they were making good cars. They were making better than the Ford cars. If you compare their, let's say, late 2010s cars to early 2000s, late 90s, have they improved? But then, of course, 2020 happened and everything started going, well, all over the place. And then Geely actually bought Lotus. So when they bought Lotus, what they did essentially was they also bought Proton. So now they had both companies, and not a lot of people know about Proton, but what they did to Lotus is actually pretty shocking. They made some really, in the same way that Proton has been going to hell.
Yep.
So has Lotus. They made like an electric SUV. So imagine a Lotus, a brand famous for lightweight supercars and sports cars, now makes like 4-door generic SUVs. Like, what are you doing? I'm still sad about that. Like, people know the Proton for that triangle. They literally made every single car around that triangle. You look at the front of the Gen 2, the Persona, the Vera, the Vaja, all of these things all have like the triangle integrated into the car, and then when you remove that, you remove the identity. I'm about to go on a rant.
Yeah, please go. I mean, I'm getting like gold here.
Oh yeah, you're like, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah. Right.
So what we need to do is take Geely out of the question, because we need to take them out of the equation, because they're absolutely just shredding this company that, I mean, it's really nostalgic for us. First car I ever sat in Malaysia was a Proton Gen 2, an orange one. So like, it's a really special company. To see this happen to it is really sad. I mean, you can ask me modern Proton cars, I cannot name a single one of them. I have no idea what they made.
Adding to Arian's point on how Geely's ownership of Proton has dramatically affected the design of their recent models, I think the reason for such a drastic change can be traced back to the need for personal transportation for China's massive population due to the surge in rural-urban migration. Naturally, car makers like Geely have jumped at the opportunity to make cars more accessible. Their adoption of platform sharing has also led to economies of scale, as manufacturers can negotiate better deals with suppliers and lower production costs per unit. As for affordability, car ownership in China still remains largely concentrated among the middle and upper classes. Even if a company like Geely offers cars at different price points, the high initial purchase price, fuel costs, and ownership taxes still act as barriers for many. Also, I have no idea why Ariane doesn't like the Lotus Electra's design. I, on the contrary, think it's probably the best design an SUV could have. Oh well, who am I to say? I'm the same person who is going to confuse Toyota Hilux with Toyota Hilux.
Oh, what? Proton X50 is 76,000?
X50 for 76,000. Okay, so this is the question.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why in the hell would you spend your 70,000 on a Proton when you can spend it on a Toyota? And the Toyota is proven all around the world, has much more spare parts, and a lot more people have it. Say, for example, a Toyota Corolla, for example, or a Yaris, which, if I remember correctly, is called a Vios in Malaysia.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, so why would you buy a Proton when you can buy a Toyota? Like, there has to be something. Either drop the prices, or just, I don't know, make the cars special. Like, I would have, at some point, bought a Gen 2 if I had the money and if I was old enough. But you wouldn't now, would you?
Just now we saw, right? Like for example, let's take a Proton X50, which is a 4x4. So that is like around, let's say, 76,000. Now your average Toyota Hilux here runs for around 160,000.
But it's
So
a
that is,
Toyota Hilux.
huh?
But it's a Toyota Hilux.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, so both cars are 4x4s. You pretty much have like almost, yeah, like moderately all right stuff. It's not a Hilux, but you're getting that.
I'm sorry, how much? How much is the Toyota?
The Toyota is 160,000 ringgits. Yeah.
160,000, so twice the price?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So that's yeah, I mean, like, that contradicts your point. Like, why would you? The price. And yeah.
Okay, I stand corrected on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, if I was either, I would have to be really tempted by the price, or I would just buy an import. Because honest, I can't see Proton doing well like this. Like, the previous cars, I don't know if I'm being blinded by nostalgia or if this is an actual thing, but they were more appealing in a way. Like, you knew what you were getting. You knew what you were getting. You wouldn't mistake a Proton, for example, with I don't know, like a Lexus. You wouldn't mistake them.
Right, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so like when you saw someone driving a Myvi, for example,
Right.
you knew that they just wanted a car to go from A to B. But right now, it's not like that. Like, it's like Proton's trying to be something that they're not. Like, they're trying to come into a market and take over a market that's already overpopulated. Like, look at how many companies, international proven companies, mind you, like Toyota, Honda, Subaru, the list just goes on. How many of them are trying to be in that, like, let's say, jack of all spades kind of category?
Yes.
That they want to do too many things at once. And then here comes Malaysia with Proton and Perodua, mostly Proton. They're trying to become the jack of all spades.
Yes.
In a category that's already overpopulated, and nobody has done that yet.
Right.
And you just know that they don't have the resources or the power to do that.
Absolutely.
So why would you? Well, that's China for you.
Like, I used to have a Proton Saga before, so the box car that used to be there for like 2 years.
Oh yeah, that is peak nostalgia.
So
that is peak nostalgia. I think Malaysian taxi and that car springs to mind.
I mean, yeah, that's the identity of Malaysia, like the box. That's it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and it was okay. You know, they were growing, and I kind of applaud Malaysia for doing what they're doing. It's not attractive, but at least
Right.
they're improving.
Yeah, yeah.
They try to improve, but they have really got to. Okay, this is another thing I want to talk about. Like, how can they improve from this? Is there any way they can improve? Do they want to improve? Honestly, what
As long as it gets them the money
do you
and
think?
the like the sales, then I don't see any reason for them. And plus, it's a Chinese company doing that, so that's should they improve on it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Exactly. So like, Proton cars aren't even Malaysian now; they're just Chinese.
Right. Yeah.
So if it gets the job done, I don't see them changing,
Exactly. Yeah.
which is a sad thing, honestly.
Right. I mean, like there is a possibility that they can change if you consider electrical vehicles. Like we recently had a like MG, MG, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they released two electrical vehicle models here. I don't know which ones exactly.
Oh,
So,
that is genuinely going to make things, in my perspective at least, and what I see Proton, that's just going to make it worse. Like,
mhm.
not worse for the company. It's going to do great for the company because the EV hype, electric vehicle hype. But what I saw Proton as, like, a soulful, like, the company had character in a way. I don't know why,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it had character. You saw it as this cheap budget company for someone who doesn't quite have the funds. And
Mhm.
it was okay because you didn't expect it. You saw, like, for example, I don't know, you saw Gen 2 or Vaja, and you didn't, like, mistake it, as I said, with, like, a Lexus. Like, you knew, okay, well, this person is driving this and good for them. I would definitely do that. If I was in Malaysia right now, like, a university student, obviously not doing good financially, nor is any university student. So that would be the car for you to buy. You would buy, for example, a used Vera or a used Saga or whatever.
Or a Conchil or a Myvi,
But
right?
now it's not like that. Okay, we're pushing boundaries with the country.
I mean, you said. I mean, you're
Honestly,
giving the example of
walking
a.
could be a walking could be a better alternative. I don't think I will fit in a Conchil right now. I'm being serious. I mean, for God's sake, the Conchil stands for small.
Right.
In the company's current state, you cannot see someone doing that. Because, I mean, what are the range of the cars that they have? SUV, 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 4x4, and a sedan. So, they had a market, and I think they used it pretty well. I mean, they must have. For them to get to this current stage where they have improved the company, at least at the surface, massively, they must have, like, capitalized on that market of cheap budget cars for like the common people to get to here where they can now make luxury SUVs. But they've also lost that market. So, like, there never was a replacement for the Gen 2 or the Vera or the Saga. There
Yeah, I
never
get that.
was.
I mean, they were the
If they could
replacements.
have, what were the replacements?
No, like the Gen 2 you're speaking of, they were the replacements of older models from the late 80s and 90s. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So, like, they replaced those models, which is
Right.
a completely okay thing. They made replacements. The replacements were even more popular than the original ones,
Yes. Yeah.
but then they never carried on. Like, for example, if we want to talk about let's say an Alfa Romeo, which just about in any of their models, it has that character. The reason it has that character is because it's specifically for a type of person. Like, a memorable person, let's say, is a person that has that strong character.
Yeah.
Like, when you think of someone, you immediately associate them with something.
Right. Right.
It's if a person has character, it's because they have one specific personality. So when a car is trying to be two things at once, it loses its personality automatically. It's just
Right.
a
Right.
rule of the thumb. So we can't really blame them for doing this because they're trying to make a car that's appealing to everyone,
Mm-hmm.
but interesting to no one. Highly philosophical. Last thing, and a piece of
Right.
advice for every company CEO for like automotive industry: we can make a brand popular, but if somebody makes a good sports car and people see that it's good, like look at what Hyundai did. Hyundai is the best example. They used to make generic sedans, nobody liked them, and then they started to make sports cars in their N subdivision. And now they're in the rally, and their cars are skyrocketing, and Hyundai as a whole is now skyrocketing as a company simply because they made a couple of hot hatchbacks that people actually like. The Hyundai i30N, I'll send you a picture of it. That is my favorite car that I would buy, like a daily car, a car that you would use daily. That is my favorite car in the world right now, and it's just so good. It's good looking, it's interesting, it's good to drive, and it's a manual.
Mm.
So I think a lot of companies should take a page out of Hyundai's book, because what they did is they turned the company around with the help of uh, cars that enthusiasts would like. So that's how Hyundai became popular all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, and they
Right,
became
right.
a cool company.
Wow. That was a lot.
Yeah, hello to the two people that have stayed until now. Hope you're enjoying the show. How many years have I been telling you to make this video?
After the Spider-Man video, which was 3 years now, yeah.
Jesus.